is this God? Who will save you from the fire? Who is this God? Who will save you from my hand? Nebuchadnezzar.
Church in the name of Jesus. What do we say? Amen. I have not come alone. I've come with my Bible. Okay, so let me invite you. The book of Daniel. Chapter 3. Verse 13 going down. It is giving us a narrative of the 3 Hebrew boys. Allow me to entitle our short sermon, Who is this God? Who is this God?
So they are in Babylon now. Because God decided in His divine wisdom to get His children and place them in the hand of Nebuchadnezzar. So they are slaves now. They are suffering now because God decided to take them into captivity. Is the church with me? You see, sometimes we need to leave the devil out of it. Sometimes it is God who puts us in our situation. I have heard people say it is the work of the devil. But until I read this passage, then have I come to understand that sometimes you may be going through what you are going through. And guess what? Whatever you are going through is signed God. When God has placed you somewhere, beloved, His grace will always follow you everywhere you go. Now you see, they are supposed to be thrown in the fire immediately. But because they are in Babylon, according to God's design, we see God's grace playing its role. Instead of the king throwing them in the fire immediately, he began to question them. Is it true? Is it true? Now he is defouling his own command. But is grace, beloved friends, when grace is with you, even those from the world will begin to break their principles. Because you do not worship a simple God. And who is this God? Who will save you from the fire? Who is this God? Who will save you from my hand? And then listen to what they say in verse 15. They say, "O king, live long, O king. We give you much respect. But you see, we do not have an issue in this matter. We don't have time to argue with you in this matter. You see, O king, we don't care what you do to us. We will not serve the image. Because we know that God, our God, whom we serve, will save us from the fire." Is the church with me? Now let me preach something here. He says, "Who is this God? Who will save you from my hand?" Nebuchadnezzar has made a mistake. Now remember the children of Israel. They are in Babylon because it was God in chapter 1 who took them and placed them in the hands of Nebuchadnezzar. But it seems Nebuchadnezzar has forgotten. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they have not forgotten. They know that they are there because of God. And so they Because he placed us into your hand. He will save us from your hand. This God, I don't know how he works, but he does work anyway. Those that are taking them in the fire are bent. You see science being fire. Because if you are leading someone in the fire, it first burns whatever is in front of you, and then it comes to you. But look at the fire. It jumps the boys and it burns. Oh, that is grace, beloved friends. When grace steps in, when God is in control, science is defiled. The laws of matter are defiled. And now listen to what he says. This is where it gets interesting. Who is this God who will save you from my hand? When he looks, he sees 4 people, and then he says the 4th one looks like a son of God. I'm confused too. Who is this God who will save you from my hand? And when he looks, he sees the 4th one looking like the son of God. The question I want to ask is, who told Nebuchadnezzar that he is the son of God? Hello? Who told him? You see, that is God, beloved friends. He will reveal himself to those that want to see him, those that want to know him, even to those that do not believe. God is going to reveal himself. They say, King, even if this God does not save us, we will still serve him. What? Even if he does not save us from your hand, we will still worship him. That is a statement of faith, beloved. In fact, let me tell you that at the point they are saying, even if this God we serve does not save us, they are no longer talking to the king. They are actually talking to God himself. They say, God, even if you taught us that we should worship the image, we will not. It is as though they read Exodus 20 verse 8, which says, thou shalt not have any other gods before me. They understood. They were grounded. That is principle over consequences. Despite whatever happens, I will stand firm to my God. No matter how the economy bites, even if sickness has hit me, even if I lose my job, I will not serve the world. Let me say this to you. God was able to save them before they were thrown in the fire. He is God and he was able to do that. In fact, if he wanted, the moment the fire was lit up, God from heaven would have just done oof, and then fire off. Again they lit up oof. But he did not prevent them to light up the fire. Now let me say this to us this afternoon. God is able. He is able. But sometimes he will not. Is the church with me? He is able. But sometimes he will choose not to. Is the church with me? God is able to heal you. God is able to give you a job. God is able to give you marriage. God is able to save your breaking marriage. God is able to give us rain throughout. But sometimes he will choose not to. But I want to tell you this, beloved, that his what displays his power too. With me, when he decides not to do it, this is where lies his strength to do it. When he does not do it, it does not mean he can't do it. He just wants to do something. And this is something because somebody needed to know who God is. And so he does not do it. So God will choose not to do it. Not because he wants you to suffer, but because he wants your neighbor to know that you worship God. So God will give us a drought, but he knows how he will feed us. So that those who do not believe in God, when they see how we are surviving, they will say indeed they worship a true God.